Hello members, welcome to our last session. We're going to proceed from where we stopped in the previous session, and in the previous session we were able to set up our Flutter environment and we were able to run our application. Alright, so we're able to run our first application of Flutter in our IDE. So in this section, we're going to take it from there and we see how we can do more things with Flutter. So without wasting much time, let's go straight into business and we get started. Alright. So you know how this thing was generated by Flutter, you saw. So the next that we're going to do, we're going to see how we can create multiple screens. Okay, so we can be able to move from one screen to another screen. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to come here to where there is a lib here. I'm going to put a special folder where I'll be having different screens, just like the way you see this application. An application, they say that when you go to Gmail, you can move from one screen to another. Okay, so I'm going to do the same. I'm going to put a section where we're going to have the main screen or the home page, and then we should be able to navigate from home page to another screen. Okay, so this screen, it is better you organize your data in a better way. So all the screens, it is better they be in the same place. And if you want a screen, you know where to find it. The widgets, they will be in a different place, and also the models in a different place. So your project should be organized. When you want something, you don't fidget. You just know exactly where to find it. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to come here to our lib folder and then right click and say new directory. This directory, it is where we're going to, this is just a folder, like directory means folder, you all know that. So I'm going to create a folder called screens. So this screens directory, it is where we are going to put our what? Our screens, our different screen, homepage screen, etc. All right. So let me go ahead and put there our first screen that we're going to call the home page or home screen. Okay, so I'll come here to home to these screens and then right click and then say new and then come and say new file. So it should be a .dat file and I'm going to call it home underscore screen like this .dat. So you should always remember to put the extension of .dat. So like this. So let me add it to GitHub like that. So that is going to be our home screen and it is inside the folder of what? Of screens. So now what we're going to do, we are going to put there the stateful widget. All right. We're going to put there the stateful widget. I'll explain what is meant by stateless widget. I'll explain what is meant by stateless widget. So to create stateless widget, just write STL. They'll suggest for you stateless. So just press enter and they'll create for you what? A stateless widget. Okay. So go ahead and type in home screen. All right. So this is going to be a home screen. So press here Alt and enter. Move your mouse here. If it is showing an error, move your mouse here where the error is and then click on this red icon and then say import. Okay, so when you say import, they'll import the right things that are going to remove all these things. Okay, so that is a home screen. So I want you to look at this code very clearly. It's just a class that extends a stateless widget, and then it is having this is optional, by the way. You can even remove it. It's a constructor. Let me remove it. You can remove it. It is just having a constructor called home and it's taking the key. All right, but you can remove it. Is optional. Then it overrides the build. Okay, at override widget build. So this one is the one that is where the whole project will begin from, or where the whole Flutter will begin from. And here we are returning a placeholder. You see, placeholder is a default widget in Flutter that we use to do it just to display something that does not have any content. So by doing like this, we'll have created your one screen. All right. So what we're going to do, we are going now to implement this home screen. We are going to put it in the main file. As I told you, the main file is it's where the project begins from. We are going to put it in the main file so that it should be taken as a main as the main folder, as the main screen or the home screen where the application should always start from. So I can go ahead and copy that home screen and then come here to where there is a main folder. Here, the main folder, I'm going to steal this Flutter project that my main screen is this one. Okay, so let's come to our main folder, to our main file, and go ahead and remove this unnecessary thing. For example, this is my home page. We don't need it. We can remove it. So you can collapse it from here. Okay, I can collapse it and I remove it like this. I don't need this one also. I can collapse it and I remove it like this. All right, so you'll have a simple main file like this one. You see, it is just that simple. So I can even remove this comment. Can you see? It's just material app and it's having Flutter demo, and then inside it there is a theme. This theme is just the configuration of your project. In case you want to configure what the color of the app bar, what is the default color, you can configure these things from here. But it's also optional. You can as well remove it from here. You see, I can remove that one. So the main thing that is remaining here is the title. Even this one is optional. You can remove it. But the main thing that's remaining there is the home. So this home is a place where you tell Flutter should begin executing your project from. So I'm going to remove this thing that was there, so you can have such a simple thing. Can you see that? Look at that. Very, very simple thing. Okay, so here it is where we're going to put our home screen. This screen that we have just created here. That is simple, right? So you can see how things are just simple, though it begins with some complicated code. You can even pause the video and delete everything and rewrite these things. So I'm going to put here my home screen. So I'll come and copy this home screen class name and come and paste it here as it is. And then I open like this. So if it brings warning, just press Alt and enter. Then it will show these options of how you can fix it. Or you move your mouse, you click in that error, and then you move your mouse there to give you options. So you go ahead and import it. Click on that first option. So like this, you can add your constant so it can be constant. So like this, you can even remove this title if you don't need it, right? So you'll have a simple application like that. So if I save, it will update the screen. So you see, when I save, it comes here and shows me the placeholder. So it means that I've successfully implemented this as my home screen. So if I stop my application and I run it again, it should be able to show me, it should be able to execute this one as my home page or as my main page. Okay, so it is loading, boom. So you can see that's our main page. So we have successfully implemented that. So I'm going to press Ctrl and come to this main page. Just you press Ctrl and click on it to go there. So we now have our application in control. We know where everything it is and we know the meaning of everything. This is the main application. It runs this app, and this app it is having the material app, and then this material app it is returning this home screen as its main home, and then inside this home screen it has a build. This build is where the application starts from, or where the screen starts from, and in this build you're returning a simple placeholder widget. So a widget is a user interface. We're returning just a placeholder widget, this black screen. So at this moment we should be knowing what is meant by everything. So I'm going to remove this black screen and then I put the design of something that we want. For example, there's something called text. Text is a widget. A widget means a user interface, okay? So text is a user interface provided by Flutter that we use to display data on the screen, okay? So I'm going to put here the text and display maybe my name there on the screen. So to do that, I just simply write text and then I open like this, and then I display there my name there. Muhindo Barak app, like this, okay? So I save. So when I save, you see my name is there. But things look really, 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 really funny. Yes, it is working. Our name is being displayed, but you being able to design that, okay, this should be the app bar, the words should not cross in the status bar, like to have something that looks like a real application, something that looks like this Google Chrome. You see, when I open Google Chrome, I have things of this light, like everything is well organized. Okay, when I scroll, the words, the colors, the arrangement. Okay, so you can see if we begin from here, we have a very long journey to make something look like a real application. So because of that, Flutter provided to us a widget, an interface or a class that we can use to design our application so it can look like a real application without too much pain. So you start from there. Okay, so that class or that widget is called scaffold. So scaffold is a structure of your mobile application. Okay, so we're going to put this text in the scaffold. So scaffold will give our application a shape of a real application, right? So I can remove everything that I was having here, and then I return here what you call scaffold like this. So this scaffold, just write scaffold like this. Okay, just write that scaffold. I have something that is suggesting for me things. So this scaffold, just return it like that one. So scaffold, it will take two main things. The first thing that it will take the up bar. So the up bar is this thing that you're seeing on top of most mobile applications, just like the way you're seeing this one. This thing that is on top here is what you call the up bar. This one that you see where there is my classes is what you call what? The up bar. All right. So scaffold, it will take the up bar, and then here where you're seeing the students list here, it is the body now. Okay, it will take also the body content. All right. So we are going to go to application and then return the up bar and then the content. So that's what the scaffold takes. So it will help us not to hassle with the dimension, not to hassle with the arrangement, not to hassle. It will do all that for us. So let's go ahead. Let's go back to our mobile application. So here we return scaffold. So as you say, it will take the up bar like this. Up bar. Let me first disable Copilot because it is telling things before I do them. Okay, so this scaffold is going to take up bar like this. So up bar, it takes something called up bar, a class called up bar, right? Open like this, and then here this up bar, it has what you call title. So this title, it takes a widget. So I can write here text, and I say my Flutter application. I can say my Flutter mobile app, okay, or I can say learning Flutter like this. All right, so that is it. So the next thing that we say that this will take, it will take what we called it will take what we called it will take what we call the body. Okay, so you just go ahead and put there the body. So in the body there, you can return for example another text. This is my body, like this. Then go ahead and save. Boom, you have something beautiful like that. Can you see that? It is so beautiful. Like by just a few pieces of line, you're able to achieve a mobile application that looks amazing like that without too much hassle. Even though it can be too much hassle for you for the beginning, but once you master, once you set up, this cannot be painful. All right, so and I hope right now everyone understands the purpose of everything that we have in this application. Okay, so that is so beautiful, isn't it? It is beautiful. All right, so now getting started. Here I want us to have a list of different things. Okay, I want us to have a list of things that we are going to do. All right, so thing that we're going to practice. So in Flutter, we have two types of widgets. The first type of widget is called a single child widget. So a single child widget is a widget that will take only one item, or that will take only one child. And then another type of widget is called the multi-child widget, or the one that you can take multiple child or multiple children. Multiple child, okay? So multiple childs, they will form to children. So in simple terms, there we have different widgets. Some widgets, they take multiple child to form multiple children, right? Some widgets take children, and some widgets accept only child. Okay, so we're going to look at those different widgets today. So the widget that I want to put here, I want a widget that can allow me to put more than one item, because I'm going to list the item that we're going to be learning here. So we need a widget that can take children, not a child. Okay, that can take more than one thing. So among these examples of widgets, we have something called column. Column can take more than one thing. We have stack can take more than one thing. We have what? We have list view, like that. Then some take single children, such as container. It will take one child, such as center. It will take one child, etc. So here we are going to put a what? I'm going to remove this here, and then I put what we call a list view. List view, it is a widget that will allow us to take things that can be scrollable in form of a list. So I'll open here, bracket, and then pass what we call children. So inside children here, you see, children is where we're going to put multiple children or multiple child, right? So I can go ahead and put there the first child. You see, it is accepting, it's an array, it's accepting multiple things. I can go ahead and put a first child, and I call this one, for example, I can call this one text, and then I say child 1, and then I duplicate this one, child 2, and then child 3 and child 4. So if I save, can you see I have more than one child? And you see, when I try to pull down, I can be able to do what? To scroll. All right, so it is taking multiple children. That's all what you wanted. That is so beautiful. Okay, so we're going to look at different topics, and we need to have our things well organized. So the first topic that we're going to look at is the topic of styling the text. How can we style the text? So what we're going to do right now, we are going to put there something that can be much more elaborative, something like being in the form of a list. But you see, this is just a plain text like child 1, child 2, child 3, but it does not give that feeling of a list. It does not space them properly. So you have to work on that for you to space by themselves. But Flutter gives us also ability to, or gives us an access to a widget or to a design that can do what? That can, it gives us ability to a design that can allow us to write a single widget, and gives us the whole structure of having a single list item that is well spaced, well organized, and we can attach there different things. Those things, we'll look at them in future as we proceed. But right now, I have no other way I can elaborate other than just giving them to you so you can start knowing. But when you proceed, we'll have to look at all of them. So, and that is list style. So list style will give you ability to organize your data in a very nice way. So go ahead and write list style like this, all right? So list style, it will give you a structure that can organize your data in what? In a list item. So list style has different parameters that it takes. For example, it has a parameter called title, okay? So I can just simply pass here my text and say this is title. Okay, so if I save, can you see? At least this, you can see it's not on the border, what and what. At least it's kind of spaced properly. It is not stuck on the border. Like, it is understanding now that, okay, this person needs to put his item in the list, and this list need have to be spaced properly. Can you see? This is my title 1. Okay, so it means that if I duplicate, I put here comma and I duplicate it, I can have here something like this is my title 2. That is beautiful. You see, things are now spaced. All right, so let us look at more things that a list style can give us. We have a subtitle. Okay, so this one also takes a widget, and you can say this is my title explanation, like this. So you see, that is so beautiful. So you see the kind of description of whatever you've written on top here, it is here. You see, that is so nice. Okay, so this list style has something called leading. Okay, leading. So leading is something that will be in front of everything here. So let's say maybe you want to display a picture of this item or whatever, so you can put there leading. So here in leading, we have Flutter have things called icons. So this icon, you can use them to demonstrate something by use of symbols. So I'm going to pass here what we call an icon. All right, in this icon, I'm going to put here what we call icons dot. So these icons, when you say icons dot, you'll have a lot of designs that you'll find here. All right. So for example, I'm going to look at text styling. So I can put here text. So you'll see examples of text icons like this. So when I save, you see it has come here in front. Okay, in front as leading. Okay, so our list is now making sense. We have another thing called trailing. Trailing, it is also like the leading, but for which is at last. Okay, at last. So I can go ahead here and say icon, and then pass icons dot what dot chevron right. This chevron right is the one that just like right angled. You see, so I can say chevron left, right, left, this one. So I save. You see, so this can communicate to the mind of the user that this is a title, this is a description, this is the icon of what's representing this, and then this is communicating in the mind of the user. Click on this to go next. You see, click on this one to go next. It kind of explains to the user's mind. All right. So this list, it has one more thing that is very important. It has a listener or a click listener. So you can attach the listener in a way that if someone click on that, you're able to notice that someone has pressed on this list. So to attach the listener, you just simply say on tap. So on tap, it takes this open bracket and then like this, curly bracket and open like this. So if you want to put something in your console, let's say that you want to test and see if something is being done, we have what we call console. So console, it will do what? It will be able to display something in your IDE. So if you want to display something in your console, you can just simply write print. Okay, clicked. So this print will display something in the console, right? You know what's meant by console. So let me go ahead and open my console. So your console, you'll find it here on run, where there is run. So I can click here. So you see when I click, you see, I have this clicked. You see, that's beautiful, right? You see, clicked. So, and you see it gives that kind of feedback on the list itself, that kind of ripple that you see when I'm pressing, it gives you that kind of a touch telling the user that, hey, this thing you can be able to click it. It's not like here where I cannot click, but when I click on something that has a click listener, it gives that kind of feedback. All right, now here is now where the action begins. We want that when someone clicks there, we should take them to the next page where we can now demonstrate the styling of what? Of text. So we are going now to create the second screen, and we want when someone clicks here, you should go to the next screen, right? Yes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here to the folder of screen and then come here and say new. I forgot here to be naming files. Let me rename this one and just put here 1 underscore homepage, home screen, so you can be able to trace them. Okay, so in case you share the code with someone should be able to understand where you started from and where you are. So I'm going to put here number 2, new file under screens. Number 2, I'm going to call it text styling dot dat. All right. So instead of us doing what? Instead of us going ahead and repeat and do the same things, I'm just going to copy this and then paste it here. So I can just simply come here, copy this home page because it's almost the same structure, and then come and paste it here. So maybe you can remove a few things. I can just simply come and change this name, press Ctrl F and press Alt and Enter. Just change this name to what? To, can't even remove this guy. And then change this name to, okay, change this name to what? To text styling screen. You see how I'm renaming my things? Text styling screen, like this. Okay, so come and change this title to text styling. Okay, I can come and remove this list because I don't need many lists here. I can just simply return text and say time to style texts. Good. So like this. Now the next thing that we're going to do is now to making it able for us to click here and come to this page. Remember, we're on this home page. We are here right now. We are stuck from here. I want us, when someone clicks on this list, when this listener triggers, we should navigate them to this list styling screen. So to do that in Flutter, we have a class called navigator. Navigator. So go ahead and say navigator like this, write it like that, and then say push. Think like this, and then it takes the first one called context. So this navigator push, it will take the first thing called context, and then after taking the first context, and then you open what you call material page route like this. It has a builder, right? Build and then right column, and then put their context in bracket and then point at constant. You can even remove constant and then put the screen that you want to navigate to. Okay, so the screen that you want to navigate to is this second screen, this one here. So go ahead and copy that name properly and then put it here. Press Alt and Enter for let me disable Copilot. Press Alt and Enter. It will go ahead and do what? It will go ahead and import this styling. So this is the logic. This one here is the logic that we use to navigate from one screen to another. Okay, so if I click here, I should be able to navigate to the other screen. So okay, let's click, tap, boom, you're able to go to another screen. Can you see? That is beautiful. That is so beautiful. Like we can go from one screen to another, from one screen to another, from one screen to another. That is so nice. So make sure that you're able to achieve that as well, okay? Because it's not magic. You can also what? You can also do it. All right, so we can be able to come now to this second screen by just simply clicking here. So in this second screen, we are going to look at how we can style our text, okay? How can we style the text? So to style the text, Flutter gives you parameters that you can add. So after putting here the main text that you want, so Flutter gives you more things that you can add. So if you put here a comma, you'll be able to get more parameters. So if you want to know these parameters, just press Ctrl and click on that widget. It will give you different parameters that you'll accept. All right. So press, you can switch back, okay, to where you want. Me, I'm using Alt and tab key to switch back and forth from different file to different file. So it accepts text aligning, okay, it accepts text decoration, it accepts maximum text, okay, but the main part here is the text styling. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the text styling. So if you want to style the text, you pass style. So if you don't know what this style will take, just press Ctrl and click on it. It will give you what it will take. It is text style. So I can press Alt and Enter. I mean, the Alt and the Tab key to navigate back. So here I am going to pass here style here next to this text one. So here it will take what we call text style, and then so this is text structure. So style, this one will take text style like this. So open bracket, and then it will be able to take it different parameters. You see, text style will also be able to take different parameters. So you see, remember we are passing all these one under the text widget. All right, so let's go ahead and do what, and give it different parameters. So text style has also different parameters. So if I press Ctrl and click on it, you'll see the different parameters that it accepts. It accepts color, so I can go ahead and give it color. So I can say color just right here under text style, write color, and then you can give colors. So colors, you'll always find them in this class called colors dot. So when you put dot, you'll be able to see different colors that you want. Okay, so I can put dot red. All right, then you'll have this text in form of red. Okay, so every color have different shades. You can shade it to 90, I mean to 800, 600, up to 900. So if I shade it maybe to, the higher the shade, the darker the color. So if I save, you'll see it will be there to 500. So if I put 900, it will be there. So let me first increase the size. So if you want to increase the size, just simply pass here font size. You can pass, for example, let me make it 55. If I save, you see that is the font size. You get it, right? Okay. If I make it maybe 35, it will be like that. Let me make this list much more, I mean the text much more bigger, like this. Okay, there we go. Right, we are good. So I can change this one even to blue, like this, to purple, so like that, to yellow, to green, to, okay, let me make it green. So you can do that the whole day if you want. So after doing that, so let us look at more parameters. Just press Ctrl and click on it. So I've looked at color. We can change even the background color. I didn't know that. We can even change the background color by just simply say background color, and then you can put maybe black. So you see, that is the black background color. Okay, so you can make this one, for example, white. White does not take shades. Then you see, you can achieve something beautiful like that within just a few write-ups, or with just a few coding. Okay, so you can change the background color as I've shown you. Okay, so I can say maybe the color should be white and the background should be red or green, like this. I can even change the shade of the color and make it maybe 100, so like this. So it can do that. So let's look at more parameters faster. So more parameters, we can look at the font size. We already looked at it. Letter spacing, you can do the letter spacing. spacing by just say letter spacing, and then you specify by saying 2, so it will increase by 2. Say 1, it will increase by 1. Say 0.1, it will make it like very tight to each other. 0.01, so you can space the letters using that parameter. We have word spacing. You can space the words by just simply coming here, say word spacing, and say maybe 5. So the space between words is going to be increased by 1. If you want the words to touch each other, just put 0.1, and then you see the words are almost together as much as possible. All right, so the next thing, you can change the height of the letters of the lines. So you can say height equals to 1.1, so it will multiply by 1.1. If I say 0.9, it will reduce. Okay, so if I say 0.5, you'll see that the words are mixing up with each other because I've given them very limited very limited height. So I can say 1.2, so it can space them better way. So you can do that as well. We have foreground. We have so many things that you can come and try out by yourself. But literally, that is how you style the text. So make sure that you practice it so you can understand how to style the text. So lastly, let's see how you can style the container, but I don't think our time will be enough. Okay, let's first change the title here and change this one to text styling. Text styling. And then the explanation, how to design text in Flutter. Something like that. You see? So you see now it can make sense. So if you click there, it takes you to the text styling. Right? Good. So I can say maybe this is topic number 1, like this. Alright, so topic number 2. So I'm going to put there the container styling. Okay? So a container is the one that we use to like the way you see, if you have ever coded HTML, there is something called div. Okay, that div is a common structure that you use to put content inside it, and then you put conditions, or you put the designs inside that content, inside that particular content, that those conditions or those designs should not go outside that content. Okay, so it helps us to design. So in Flutter we have something called container. The container helps us to put all the things in a specific place, and then we design them from there. Okay, just like the way you see div. So it's just like the way you can have your house, and then you have there a jerry can to keep water. You have maybe a basket for keeping plates. You have maybe a case for keeping clothes. You have saucepans for keeping food. So everything is in its right container. But imagine if you do not have these containers, like everything was in one place, things could become so messy. So in Flutter, we have a container, something called container. We use it to organize. It does not add any content in your project, but you use to organize. It is very common. So we're going to see how we can style a container. So what we're going to do, I'm going to copy this guy, this list style, and then come here on top and paste it here on top. So I'm going just to change a few things. So this is going to be number 2, and then I can say container styling. Okay, so I can change this one to how to design, or I can say decorate container. How to decorate containers, or container. So the icon, we can put a relevant icon. So I can say maybe icons dot like that. All right, yeah, then this icon. So you see how things are making sense. So here we're going to put the topic of what? Of container. This one is topic of list. So here I'm going to put the topic of designing container. So all right, let's go ahead and do that screen. Our time is up, but let's just finish by just creating the screen. So the next class we just go straight and design. So I'll come here to number 2. I'll copy this file, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. I'm going to call it number 3 and call it container styling. Like this. All right, so after doing that, what am I going to do? I'm going to do what? So I save. I'm going to rename this. So instead of saying text styling, I'm going to call this one container styling, and then come and change also this one container styling, and then come and change this guy to container styling, and then I can remove all this rubbish and put here just okay. Let me remove everything here in the text and just return a simple text and say time to style containers. Boom. All right. So lastly, let's go ahead and put the link that is going to be able to switch to this container screen. So I'll go ahead and copy that, then come to our home page, which is always on top, and then come here to where this listener is of container and change that one to container styling. Boom. Save. So when I click there, container styling, time to style container. When I click there, list text styling. When I click there, yes, that makes the end of our today's lecture. We are going to post these videos on YouTube. Make sure that you practice and try to venture the mobile application development world. So we will meet in the next video. Let me stop recording for now. Okay, unless there is questions.